This is The Riddle of the Sands by Erskine. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's generally perceived to be one of the very first spy novels ever written. It came out in 1903, so just a few years after Rudyard Kipling's Kim, which I think most people would say is the progenitor of the genre. It's a magnificent book. It's shot through with a real love and passion for sailing, especially on a small scale, little boats that you might take out in the channel and around the coastline. It's so well written in that regard that for weeks after I completed reading this, I researched getting some sort of sailing license and renting a boat and things like that, getting some experience of being on a little ship. And I've never been on the water really. When I was a child, I went on one of these little boats that you get in like a little pond or something in Canada. And of course, when I was warned not to put my hands on the side of the boat, that's the first thing I did. It rocked, we hit the neighbouring vessel, and I lost the fingernails on one of my hands. So not a fun experience, and yet this has made me want to go out and potentially suffer the same fate. It's a brilliantly realised story as well, and it's one that has a very serious message, and at the time it was a warning to certainly to Britain that Germany was growing in strength and that a war was coming. This was the big warning that Childers was making. Winston Churchill said later that it was thanks partly to this book that the coastal defences in Britain were strengthened when they were in the years leading up to the start of the Great War. Childers himself was a very, I would say, profoundly intelligent person. He argued against the use of cavalry in warfare. He said that it was an outdated means of fighting, and of course nobody listened to him until the start of the war. He also said that the Boer conflict could well have been avoided, and I think looking back he was certainly right there. His death came in tragic circumstances. I think he was the victim of quite a nasty political plot. He was given a present of a pistol by Michael Collins, who was killed during the Troubles in Ireland, and this was kind of used as an excuse to prove that he was acting against the state, let's say, against Britain, and his trial was quickly pushed through. Eventually led to his execution, but even then, he was a remarkably moral person, and he shook hands with each of his executioners, the firing squad, saying that he bore them no ill will. If only we could all be the same, even in the least difficult times in our lives. So this is really such a well-written book, so worth reading. It's never been out of print since it was first published, and I don't think I need to be the one to tell you that it's worth a look. So an easy 5 out of 5 stars.